Hi guys, welcome to Numbers. So one day to go for CAT. Let's talk about what exactly the interface is all about. So if you look at the interface, it's quite a beautiful one. Like here, like question number one, you have a question palette here. You can directly jump to questions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to select 19, you can go to 19. So not a problem at all. So now understand this, like when you have the first question, okay, always do save and next. If you do save and next and don't attempt it, it'll turn red. Okay, so if you keep doing this, it'll always keep turning red. Whenever you attempt it, and then like for example I attempted this question, doesn't matter it's right or correct or incorrect, but I just attempted this and I've saved next, so it'll become green. Okay, now if I select an answer and mark for review next, it'll turn purple with a tick mark on top. And if I just select I just mark for review and next, it'll turn purple. So if I let's say for example mark and review next, you can see 19th question turn purple, right? That's about the question palette for that matter. Okay, so interface is quite a good one. Okay, so answered is going to be green, mark for review is going to be purple, mark for reviewed and answered is going to be purple with a tick mark on top, and just save and next is going to be red. Right, that's about calculator. I have given you the entire video. You can check it out on the YouTube channel of mine, the entire video explanation of the calculator out here. And precisely that's about the interface. Now let's talk about the questions of CAT. So talking about the verbal section, now what have they done is they have in the sample paper till about 24th question, yes, they have kept all the RCs. So precisely in CAT 2015 you can expect at least 5 to 6 RCs. Okay, I have analyzed the questions, so they are all majorly fact-based questions plus inference-based at the same time. In the sense, a few questions, for example, I'll just show it to you. For example, let's say first question. Now this is a fact-based question. Why do islands considerable degree of isolation provide whatever? It's a fact-based question. According to the author, okay, fact-based, 3 fact-based again, 4th fact-based, 5th, now according to the passage which is the following best explains why there is symbolism in Greek art, again a fact-based, and 6th one is again a fact-based in a way. In the sense, 6th one is slightly fact-based plus inference-based at the same time. Alright, now 7th is a different passage altogether. So there are a few fact-based questions plus there are a few inference-based questions, because the inferences start from question 25. For example, here if you notice, choose the option that best captures the essence of the passage. Now this is kind of an inference-based question or a generalizing or a summarizing question. Alright, so you can see that they have asked you a few questions that are fact-based, a few questions that are inference based, but majorly they have kept the inferences as a separate area altogether. So it's a good news for all people. So another thing here is you can actually go for this. There's an option called question paper. You can see the entire question paper at a glance. I mean, the ones that won't pop up, the ones that won't be descriptive here are all RC. So till 24, if you can see, it's just like the question, okay, and the rest is like a little more information. So these are non-RC based questions. So they have said that 5 of them will be non-RC based questions and the remaining 5 will be parajumbles, and that's about it. So around, you can expect around 70-75% based questions on your RC itself. So around 30 out of 32 questions, you can expect around 20-25 questions on RC itself. So it's a good news for people who are worried about verbal, because it's going to be RCs. So just focus on the RC. So I'll suggest, if this actually happens, whatever they've said, 70-75%, so invest around 70-75% of time on RCs. So around 40 minutes you must give it to RCs, and the remaining 20 minutes you can give it to the other things like parajumbles or inferences, or in case they ask you some grammar, okay, you can focus on that as well. Okay, so I guess that's about the verbal section, because the strategy for the verbal section would be, I'd suggest that people who are good at PJs, inferences and stuff, you must start with PJs, inferences and stuff at the start. Okay, so first round you'll directly kind of jump in the sense, let's say for example you see an RC in question number 1, go to question number 6, you see again an RC, read the first line, you'll understand if it's a different RC, not 6 or 7. Okay, and then 14 again different RC, and then again 20, 22, 23, 24, and you can keep doing save next, save next, save next, and it'll keep happening. That's not a problem. Okay, that's about it for the attempt strategy, for verbal for that matter. So if you're comfortable with RCs, I no doubt suggest you must do RCs. How many RCs are optimum? Now if they ask you 6 RCs as they've given in the sample paper, I guess around 3 to 4 RCs must suffice for clearing the cutoffs. When it comes to only the RCs out here, in that matter, if you're solving 3 RCs out here, I guess you solve around 50% of the questions out here. Around, let's say, 10 questions, so you solve 5 questions here. Or if you solve 4 RCs, you'll solve around 25% of the questions out here. So around, if you have 10 questions, you'll solve around 3 to 4 questions. That's it. That's precisely about the verbal area of when it comes to CAT. Okay, so pretty cool, I'm sure, because it's not that confusing as it used to be earlier. It's not that grammar based, or it's not that fill in the blanks based. It's not that vocabulary based or something like that. It's purely inference based and fact based kind of thing, and it has certain things like grammar, inferences, and it can have grammar, it can have PJs. I mean, surely it will have PJs, it'll have inferences. So good luck for that. Yeah, coming back. So that's it. Peace out. Don't worry much. It's a 1 hour thing. Like, still it's 45 minutes. I mean, come on. It's like a 1 hour thing. So relax yourself easily and read the RC well, because RC is not the lengthy. If you notice carefully here, 1 para, 2 para, and technically it's like almost like 2/5 of the screen size. So technically it's a small RC. Okay, it's a 3 para, looks like 3 para, but not technically a 3 para. So relax yourself, read it easily, read each and every word very carefully. Don't skim the reading. Okay, don't try to skip any word. Read it very carefully, because as per the paper that they've uploaded, they have, if you notice here, the first RC itself has around 6 questions to it. Okay, so if you do the RC as well, if you read it carefully and nicely and at peace, take your time and do it very peacefully, I'm sure you're gonna have 100% accuracy here. So that's not a big deal at all. Okay, so I guess, okay, and keep in mind, whenever you mark anything, always press save and next. Okay, so that turns green. If you notice again, if I'm marking something, save and next turns green. Alright, if you want to review it, mark for next and review, it'll turn purple with a tick on the top. Alright, that's about the verbal section. Let's move ahead with the other. Alright, talking about the next section, that is DIL and LR. Now DIL and LR, when I've observed, it is similar to CAT 5, 6, 7 and 8, which means DI is precisely going to be a little logical and less of calculation intensive DI. Okay, logical DI means the guys who have been with me, you can refer to our numbers workshop DI sheet that I've given you. So you can refer to that. That's going to be kind of DI that's going to be asked in CAT this year, because it's going to be like pie chart conversion DI and allegation based DI, average based DI, etc, etc. Okay, so you can expect DI on that lines. And when it comes to logical reasoning, LR is going to be tournament based, a little bit of binary, a little bit of you can say arrangements based, which means sitting arrangements and all that, etc, etc. So DI and LR, I'd suggest one strategy here. Focus on LR first. Okay, focus on DI later. First go to LR. If you see tournament, now tournament has precisely 3 types. One is knockout, one is round robin, and the third one is the seed based tournaments. So you can focus on these things. Okay, first of all, start with, and then you can also have a look at a few binary questions, truth, tell, a lie, or an alternative, and finally go for arrangement questions and stuff like that. When it comes to DI, you need to just focus on one thing: how to interconvert charts. Okay, for example, mixed charts, how do you interconvert them? Bar to pie, pie to bar, pie to table, or table to line, etc, etc. Right, so this will be a focus on DI this year for sure, because they have provided the calci. So definitely they won't ask you direct questions like how much percent is the increase and stuff like that. Okay, that's going to be about DI and LR section. So I'll suggest you can give decent amount of around 20 to 25 minutes to LR. The ideal attempt in LR must be around let's say if they ask you 16 questions, which is going to be the apt one. The ideal attempt must be around 8 to 9 questions, and similarly in DI, around if they ask you 16 questions, the ideal attempt must be 8 to 10 questions again, same thing. So around 16 to 18 should be the apt score for DI and LR. Take your time again. 60 minutes is too much for these two sections, because in LR it's like if you know tournaments, you know tournaments. Okay, if you don't know, you'll just keep figuring it out. But if you know tournaments, I guess you'll not take more than around 5 minutes to solve a tournament caselet of around 4 questions. So it's going to be very easy in that manner. Okay, it comes to the third section, quant. Now this is like a game changer this year for sure, because now they have the calci, so they won't ask you calculation questions at all. Okay, no calculation based questions. This won't be asked. No questions based on direct substitution of values and stuff like that. So expect questions majorly on, like what I have seen from the entire paper. Again, they have asked from 07, 08 and 06. Okay, majorly the questions are based on min max of a function. You know the min max function, like the min of something like x plus 2 and 3 minus 4x is something. Find the max of that, something like that. One thing is that. Next is they'll ask you questions on induction. Induction based questions are basically the questions that I've been discussing over the years now. Okay, inductions basically means there was a question where n is equal to 1 into 1 fact plus 2 into 2 fact plus 3 into 3 fact, etc. till 10 into 10 fact. What is the remainder when n plus 2 is divided by 11 fact? Now the very simple one, because you know that this series will add up to 11 fact minus 1. Okay, now if I add 2 to it, I'll get 11 fact plus 1, and divide by 11 fact is going to give me a remainder 1. Okay, so the point here is, if you don't know this, it's okay, don't worry about it. Just take the first two terms. For example, you can take n is 1 into 1 fact plus 2 into 2 fact. For example, this gives you 1 fact is 1, 2 fact is 4. This gives you 5. Okay, 5 plus 2, because they say n plus 2. Okay, n plus 2 is going to be 7. Okay, divide by the next fact, because 10 fact was the end here, so 11 fact they've asked for. So 11 fact is going to be as good as 6 fact, 6, because it's going to be 3 fact. Okay, because 1 and 2 is going to be the end here, so the next term is going to be 3 fact 6, that the remainder is 1. Simple as that. Okay, if you're still worried, if you're still not sure, you can take 3 terms, 1 fact plus 2 fact plus 3 fact. Now this is going to give you 1 plus 4 plus 18, that's going to give you 23. Okay, plus 2 is going to give you 25, divided by 4 fact, which is 24. So 25 divided by 24 is remainder 1 again. Now for surely you can mark the answer here. Okay, 1. Right, so this is going to be the kind of pattern that quant is going to follow. Keep in mind, always follow the strategy. First in quant, go for the one liners. They're going to be the easiest of the lot, because they're going to be very logical. If you have all concepts in place, in the next 2 days if you're thinking what to revise, what to do exactly, just do the concepts. Okay, TSD has played a major role in the sample paper, so I'm sure TSD is going to be a lot of questions. Numbers has played a significant role again. Not numbers, but numbers are a topic. Okay, PNC a little bit, and geometry in a very significant manner. Okay, so definitely do these 4 topics thoroughly. Okay, revise concepts, all topics, but do these 4 topics very thoroughly. Okay, it's going to help you a lot. So first go for one liners, then go for your strong areas. If you do these 4 topics very well, these 4 will become as strong areas, and I'm sure that you will not need much after this. Do strong areas, and finally do the questions that you've missed out on, if in case you have time. Okay, missed out on questions. Alright, so around out of 34 questions that you have, I guess around 20 should suffice for a 99 plus percentile. Alright, so that's it about the entire CAT. Keep in mind the interface is brilliant. Alright, this time, because they have set everything properly and well. When it comes to verbal, again I'll just give you a quick summary. When it comes to verbal, focus on RCs, take some time, take some decent around 10 minutes around for an RC, because anyway at the end you're going to solve around 3 to 4 RCs, so take 10 minutes per RC, it's fine, not a problem. Okay, and when it comes to the other areas like DI, start with logical reasoning, because logical reasoning is going to be a little easier. DI is also easy, but logical reasoning will not take much time, since you might have seen some tournament or some binary logic before already. Okay, you can refer to our notes. For DI, please refer to our sheet in the next 2 days. It'll help you a lot. And when it comes to quant, focus on induction based questions. Okay, use values. For example, if they ask you something like, something like this, where n is equal to 2 raised to n plus 3 raised to n minus 1 plus 4 raised to n into 2, something like that, when n is a natural number, substitute n is 1, and you can go ahead with these kind of things. Okay, so I guess so that's about it. All the very best for your exam. Do very well, enjoy yourself writing the paper, romance with it. Thank you.